Hey y'all, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. If I look like I'm smiling, it's because I spend every single day doing what I love. And today, folks, this is part of a blessing. There's so much I want to say about what's going on with all the things that are happening right now. There ain't but one way to say it, and it's the good Lord answering prayers for us in so many different ways. What we have going on right here is a pile of logs that the previous owners, we didn't even know were there until a big pile of thicket got yanked out of there. And folks, the person that did that for us, you've already seen him before on this channel. You're going to see him a lot more because we're going to do a lot of collaborations together. And one of them is this. Here I am out here with my man Justin from Metcalf Mills. Check out his YouTube, folks. You're only getting a snapshot of what this incredible, formidable autodidact, remember that word? I just spoke about it the other day. Well, here's one right here on this machine, and he's hooking us up, folks. He's doing so much, but right down here, we got a pile of wood that was left here by the previous owners. Justin, why don't you tell us what we're going to do? This is kind of an experiment, y'all.
Well, we're going to clear out these logs here that's been left in the way and try to scratch around a little bit and see if we can form a small pond here.
This is going to be a fulfillment of something that Michelle really, really loves. Now, I know she doesn't spend a whole lot of time talking on this channel, but the real deal with this pond is she wants something that her little rat-looking, homeless-looking dog can jump around in, and she seems to think that Milk Boy is going to want to get up in there too. So, the truth be told, it's kind of an experiment, folks. We're going to kind of halfway talk you through it. We got all these logs down there. This is not even really an ideal place to put a pond, and because Justin has a real background in moving dirt, doing all kinds of stuff like this. Guys like this, folks, this is why you want to get an expert to do this sort of thing. I know what I know about certain things, but when it comes to bigger earthworks, these are the kinds of people you want to hire because they know things about this thing, especially if they're in your local area. They know qualities about this soil that you're not going to find from somebody else that doesn't know any better. I mean, this is what he does. This is what he's done for years. So we're bringing to bear his expertise in doing a lot of this stuff. So the plan is to get rid of, first of all them logs need to come out of there. Now, he has a suspicion that probably this soil is not going to be the best in the world for holding water, right?
Yeah, it looks like it'd be kind of hard to, you want more of a clay-based soil that you can pack in, and I heard something about running pigs on it.
That's exactly it.
Learned that today.
That's exactly it, y'all. So this is what we're going to try to do because everybody in any permaculture course has been taught this. And I don't know that there's any examples out there. William doesn't recall any either. Okay, this isn't the best soil in the world to be able to hold water, but we're going to bring to bear those pigs, those brand new pigs we got down there. We could even use the guinea hogs. We're going to use them. We're going to use them to glaze this pond. We've heard things about people using geese, ducks, a number of things. Up until now, I've only ever heard that it was possible. We're going to find out if it is. So Justin's going to go ahead and get this stuff out of here. He's going to get to work on it. And in the end, when it's all said and done, we're going to find out if it works. This is one giant experiment. And folks, I can't even begin to tell you about all the other wonderful things he's going to do around here. So with that said, I'm going to get out of the way and let him get to it. here we go. We got a big mound of pretty rich organic stuff. It's funny because Justin just said a minute ago, hey, you guys ought to put that in the garden, or do. Me and William were just having a conversation while he was running the machine, talking about how we're already planning on where we want to use that stuff. So we're these big pile mounds of logs and trees that were just sitting here. Well, they don't have to go to waste, y'all. Remember, this is permaculture. We don't waste anything. Okay, those are out. So what do you think is going to happen next, Justin?
Well, I've started putting some of the rich stuff down here. If y'all want to grow something on this bottom side of the dam, I guess that would help enrich it so that whatever you put there will grow good. And I noticed this hump over here, it's more of a clay type dirt like what we're looking for. It's a little sandy, maybe a little bit of saprolite or something in it, but I think I know it'd be a whole lot better than this rich stuff to try to make it something to break the water here. Maybe not necessarily a pond, but a little pool, something to break the water. So we're gonna take this hump off, slope that bank to match the rest of the bank so that it transitions well down through here. We'll use that soil down here to pack in for this dam, and y'all, we're talking about glazing it with some pigs, and maybe it'll be the right kind of dirt and work out good for that.
Man, how awesome is that, folks? This is why, look, as a permaculture designer, you may have a certain number of things you have in your toolbox, but this is why you bring in experts. Your foolish pride can get you killed in some of this stuff. This is why you bring in experts to do things. I know a certain amount about this, enough to make me dangerous, so I can't begin to tell you the blessing it is to have a friend and neighbor just down the way that just happens to have a Mini X and knows all about this kind of stuff. So folks, if you're going out there doing this kind of stuff, it's one thing to do a swale. It's one thing to do a little pond like William and I have done in the past. Folks, when you get to messing with some of this other stuff, when it comes to the work we're doing here, some of the work we did up the hill, what we're going to do down there, and most importantly, what we're going to do with the Earthship, that's why you hire a professional like this to get that kind of work done. And remove your foolish pride and listen to what they tell you, because there's been a number of times already where I thought I had a decent idea. I thought I knew what I wanted until he told me that's a bad idea. You know, before he gets down to business on this, folks, we had asked him a moment ago about a key, putting a key in the dam. Justin, why don't you tell us what that is and what its purpose is? Is it to lock this whole thing together? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So if you got just soil and you put more soil on top of it, you got a dead line there. You got a cold joint, like you'd say in concrete, where something comes together and it's no good. So we're going to dig down a bucket width all the way across here, maybe, I don't know, 8 inches a foot. And we're going to come in with our good dirt and just pack it all in together down in that slot and come up from there. You got your rich growing soil on the outside to sustain it. We'll try it.
Can't wait, y'all. All right, y'all, there's a wrap. Now, what you can't tell, this is very, very steep terrain. We got something of a little pocket pond up in here. But look, you don't need to hear it from an amateur. Let's hear it from a pro as to what he did here and what we're looking at. Talk to him, Justin.
Well, we just pretty much cleaned out all the organic matter out of this. Got all those logs out, first of all. Then we dug down about 8 inches all the way across. Took off some of the soil up here on the bank. It was better and not as rich. Had a little bit more like a clay texture to it. We just packed it in really well all the way across. Left it lower on this side so that the water can spill over that way versus over on the driveway side. Put some, after everything was tamped in and smoothed up, we put some loose, richer dirt on top just so that they could grow some kind of a ground cover to stabilize this thing.
So that's where we're going to go from here, y'all. It's so basically this is our little spillway on this side, right? So he's not throwing it into the road. He had told us stories about folks that actually have done that. So here it is. It was already coming down this way anyhow. We're just taking a piece of it. Remember, when any energy comes on your property, whether it's sunlight, whether it's water, you have a choice. You can either capture it, deflect it, store it, or amplify it. And you're going to find out in the future how he does all those things with water. And how you've already seen, remember folks, go check him out right up there to go find out what he does with these water wheels and all these other things. Folks, we have some phenomenal things planned out there. But for right now, in this area, what we're going to do in the meantime, we're going to put a cover crop on this top side. It's probably going to be some buckwheat, maybe a little bit of cowpea, just something to kind of hold that soil in place and sum up the higher side. We'll probably put some clumping bamboo on the back side just to kind of hold things in place. And then also a cover crop like Justin was talking about. But folks, going back to it, I said it in the very beginning, I'm going to say it again. Hire somebody like this when you do projects like this because they know what they're doing. And I only know to a certain extent. I know enough to get somebody killed. So Justin, you're the man, bro. All I can do is,
well,
you're Mr. Miyagi, man, and I'm Daniel's son, man.
Every time I come down here, I learn something very interesting. I'm thankful for the opportunity, Billy.
Well, folks, remember, check him out, Metcalf Mills, because the stuff he's done right now, folks, you're going to quit watching this channel when you see what he's doing, because this is only the tip of the iceberg. This hardcore autodidact, and yes, he is one, and so is his daughter. You're going to see some things out of this guy in the coming months that are going to floor you, and I'm not overstating it. So, folks, remember, until next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy from Perma Pastures Farm, along with my main man, Justin, from Metcalf Mills. Check him out, y'all. We'll see you next time.